So there's a couple little pedals. I put this one together a while ago. It's got a 386 kind of Acapulco Gold is a popular name for that type of circuit. A whole bunch of other things like Sonic Titans. There's a whole bunch of pedals that rock this chip. Really cool fuzz. This guy's got a modified version of a classic 2-transistor fuzz. It's something I cooked up myself. I think everybody's got a version of a 2-transistor fuzz. It was meatheads, fuzz faces. I mean, you can name like 100 of them. But this is one I made. I'll just show you really quick the two fuzzes. And then I made this today. I wanted to have something that was like really simple to use for guitar players. And you could just kind of pick a frequency and add more of it. I totally forgot about this circuit, and I was poking around, and I saw on Tag Word Effects someone made a layout for the Way Huge Tone Leper or Leper. And it's really based on the Craig Anderton frequency booster, which is just a really simple cut and dry buffer into a cool little EQ. I'd call it a poor man's Pultec. So really cool. I'll show you gain in my amp and how you can pick a frequency and boost it, and you can just really fine tune your sound and cut through a mix. But I'll show you the fuzz into it and how I really wanted to demo this, but I wanted to have some stuff on both sides of it to show what it does for, in more of a realistic setting, because by itself it's cool. Like here, I'll actually show you this first just to show you. Here's some straight up dry signal. That's bridge. Here's some neck. And then I'll start out with high frequencies. This is as high as it goes. It's like a sparkly type sound. So dry again. So you can just hear it cuts. And then you can just keep picking frequencies. Like this is a little bit higher mids. Getting beautiful fret noise. Again, here's dry. And here's a little bit lower. Some jazzier stuff. Again, dry. Lower. Gets a little beefier, and then this is the low setting. It actually does a full-on bass bump. So again. So now I'll show you. I'll kick it back up to highs here. Here's some fuzz. This is the gold 386 style fuzz. Just really cool, doomy type mid-rangey fuzz. And then we mess with it. Watch. Again, I can pick how much of it I want to add, or you can just straight up boost it, or you can and then you got volume over here for the boost because it's active. The whole thing's an active EQ, and then this is how much of the frequency you're bumping. So just started at 0 here to show you. And that's the top of the frequency. I'll kick it down one more. This one's gonna be cool. It'll get more chainsaw-y. And here's dry. really see how this will help you in a band setting kind of move your guitar tone around, especially if you have two guitar players and you're playing with distortion. You can, especially if you're mixing a song, it's really cool to be able to just shift the tone, but kind of keep that right fuzzy hairiness that if you got a distortion tone dialed in. So it's a really fun EQ, especially to have it on a pedal board. I definitely see this as a very cool utility type tool. I've been making lots of fuzzes and other stuff, and I figured I'd make a couple effects that are a little different. I've been doing a bunch of wahs lately and been thinking about EQ, so this one popped into my head, and I'll show it on bass in a second too, but let me show you what it keeps doing with different distortions. And then the lowest setting here, just to show you the oomph. Just awesome deep. So you can use this like full on, just have a good tone, like. Kick her on. So you can use it for just a dramatic part of a song, or you can use it on all the time and have some straight up oomph. So you can be like. So you can use it to beef up maybe a distortion that doesn't have a lot of beef. This pedal usually does. I actually don't have the amp up very loud. This actually has really good low end on its own. But this is brutal. So you can see it's much more ferocious. So here's a more of a classic fuzz. I'll show you, I'll go through the whole thing again, just using a different kind of more classic style silicon fuzz versus a more aggressive amp-based fuzz. This is one of my favorite fuzzes, by the way, too. I even though it's a one knobber, it just set it, forget it, sounds great. Get that hairy metal type tone. The low mids, and then here it is on just straight up beef. So really cool if you got a tone you already like, just to be able to put it after it, screw with it. I should have hooked up a tube screamer just to show you something that everybody owns. Friggin' rocks with overdrives. I just like something that can handle a fuzz and really move it around. Since there's such a slammed type of overdrive, it's really cool to just mash that signal and kind of put it where you actually want to use it, instead of just having that cascading wall of bzz noise. It's really nice to be able to like get that bzz noise into your actual song, or to lyric, or you can match it to your vocal tone. I'm going to gain my amp up. It's a single channel amp, but it's basically set up to be dirt and dirtier. So right on the lowest of lows, it gets to this clean, sparkly type tone. But this is why I modded the amp. So there's some straight up dirt. So we'll kick it up to the high. So again, without it. To the bridge. So it beefs it up. Nice low end boost here. So I'll just show you. I'll run through it on all clean. Just adds that sparkle. Some lows. So again, without it. Like it retones the amp to a Vox. So you get the Fender to like a Vox type tone. Look at the Fender quack. So pretty rad stuff. stuff. So I'll hook up a bass real quick just to show you what I actually like to use it for. I'm more of a bass player myself, so yeah, another Fender instrument. So you can get the low end bump right there. So awesome on a passive instrument like this, so you can just see rock the pick, maybe make it a little more articulate. Start up the highs, some pick type noise. Starting to get some of that diesel growl. I'm also good at figures, so we'll switch over. Again, here's dry. Some low mids. Nice slabby type tone. And just that huge bass boost. DIYers checking this out, that's why I recommend putting a pair of caps in between these two, just to show you. It's a pretty noticeable change. So if you're using it for bass more than guitar, maybe sacrifice, if you're using a 6 setting rotary like this, sacrifice, instead of adding some more top end like I did, because I figured lots of guitar players buy stuff from me, so I make lots of guitar stuff. But if you're a bass player, change some of the cap values and give yourself more maybe high mids to deep to low. So when you're picking your cap values there, just maybe open an Excel spreadsheet, do a little bit of tiny math, or just look in between the values that are already posted on that tag board layout and pick some in between, like a 150 nanofarad and in between the 100 and the 220. Or I bet you can even probably get one set lower, like maybe use a pair of 330s and get some really sub dip. I bet you can get, especially if you're playing bass, I bet you can get one lower than that and it'd still show up pretty audibly. But anyways, pretty long video. To give you an idea, well, here I'll show you some bass fuzz. So you could probably take a guitar fuzz and use this to beef it up. A little bit of low and loss on this fuzz. And you can just pick it right back up and then some with this. Cool stuff. I definitely recommend building this. Tagboard Effects got the layout on there, or you can just Google Craig Anderton frequency booster, and there should be like 10 other websites that have over the years taken that electronics projects for musicians and drawn up the new schematic or cut and paste the page. So totally recommend building this thing if you're got a soldering iron and you own stringed instruments. It's a pretty cool one. Simple. Offboard wiring is kind of a nightmare if you use the tagboard layout. If you're a first time builder, it might be a little bit much. But again, if you just want to boost a single frequency, you can do the one without the rotary and just have 2 knobs and just use 2 caps. It'd probably take half the time to build it. If you already got a tone or you see a setting on here and you're like, oh, you know, 3rd setting back looks kind of cool, just look at the values on there. It's going to be the smaller caps are going to be higher pitches and the larger caps are going to be lower pitches on that layout. So anyways, rock on. I'll probably put a link on the little posting there in the details in case you get frisky and want to build some crap. Rock on.